What's up, everyone? I hope you guys are all doing well. If you're new here, my name is Serge. Welcome to the channel. To all my reoccurring viewers, guys, thank you so much for all the love and support. Today, we're actually going to do something a little bit different. I'm actually going to have a guest in this video, so if you guys are interested, make sure you guys stick around. The gentleman that I'll be interviewing in this video, his name is Xavier, and he actually helped me purchase this first home that I got.
What's up, dude? Clap for me. Something. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Welcome, dude.
Thank you.
How you doing today?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing good. So yeah, guys, this is Xavier. Xavier, tell us a little bit about yourself, kind of how you got into business.
Sure. Well,
how long you been in it?
I look like an old man, but I'm only 26 years old. I'm a realtor. Been a realtor for 6-7 years. What makes me a little unique is I do YouTube. Currently, I'm about to hit 10,000 subscribers, and all of my business comes from YouTube. So, my business has been, the last 2 years has been great. It's blown up because of it, and I'm just going for the ride and so blessed for it. Yep.
Yeah, that's awesome. So I actually went on YouTube to figure out a way, to purchase a property, and I was ready. And well, this guy popped up, and I was watching a couple of his vids.
Was that the first one, or did you get led to me somewhere else?
No, you're the first one. I was looking
so what'd you look up?
I was looking up FHA down payment.
Okay.
Assistance, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
And you popped up, and it was one of your 500K vid.
Okay. Yeah, the big one. Yeah.
Yeah, the big one. Yeah, he popped up, and so I was like, oh, that's a great thumbnail. Look at that. And so I clicked on it, and then I realized at the end he mentioned that he was from Phoenix, and so got his contact info from his description, and yeah, the rest is history.
He DM'd me, he texted me, he's emailed me, he left me a voicemail. I was in Disneyland at the time, just disconnecting. I got back and I just see, I'm like, oh, because listen, it's getting bigger now, and sometimes I forget to reach out to people. I'm like, oh, this guy's not going to want to work with me tomorrow. Well, no, and I called him and he was like, yep, I love your stuff. Let's work together. So
yeah, and I knew that he was a busy guy. Because that video had blown up, and I was pretty certain that he was probably getting a lot of business from it. So I said, how am I going to be different than everybody else, and how am I going to stand out? Yep. So I used Ryan Serhant's method there. I stayed very consistent. Just email everything that you can possibly do to get in contact with someone. Definitely do it, including myself. If you guys need to get in contact with me, definitely stand out and try to figure out. I've had people actually go on my business website and get myself.
We get a lot of just people and a lot of people do messages as like, hey, so what did you eat for breakfast this morning? So it does really make a difference when you stand out.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit. What should people start looking for when they're trying to get a first home? What is something that people need to consider, and what you would recommend?
So kind of like what you did. So even though you had that good initial impression of me, even though I didn't call you until I got back, you want to still meet that realtor, because I always, like I told you when I met you, I could have been great, but I could be a butthole in real life. So come meet me. So we met. We went to a satellite office. So we met and we hit it off. So I think the first things first is you got to know your realtor and you got to trust your realtor. So when I'm telling Serge, this is what they're telling me, Serge has to trust me, right? Yeah. If you don't trust your realtor and I get a lot of people that go to me and go, hey, this realtor's telling me this. What do you think? Dude, if you don't trust your realtor, it's not going to be a good time. So
trust is a huge factor.
100%, because you should, even before, the lender's great to have, and if you find your own lender, great, but that realtor is going to be the one that's going to lead you through it. So
okay. Yeah, and that was a big thing for me. I love always meeting the people that I work with face to face, and that's such an important thing nowadays with technology and social media. Me just reaching out to him, he could have just been all right with that and been like, all right, man, let's what are you looking for?
Start sending houses right away, right? Which I'm sure you've gotten that before, right?
Yeah,
we talked to other realtors.
Yeah, other realtors that I didn't even want them to be my realtor, and they still just sent me houses. Yeah, sent me a ton of houses. I still today I get emails. So yeah, guys, definitely meet with the realtor, like he said, and me personally, that was a big thing for me, and then it definitely. I was like, all right, well, I was impressed with that. And then kind of tell us a little bit about what the process is. I mean, I could tell them, but I met you, you did your initial assessment, and your initial assessment consists of what before you take a client on?
Well, yeah, there's a lot of things happening at initial appointment. It is very educational based. I'm trying to tell them, Serge already kind of knew most of this stuff, so I was more or less just kind of
all from his videos.
Yeah, just kind of brushing on hey, this, that. But it's more or less the initial education. So when I send you to the lender, you know what you're talking about. So when I talk to him, I assess him, I figured out DTI, all that stuff. I'm doing that before going to the lender, because I want him to know what he's looking at when the lender talks to him.
What's DTI?
Debt to income ratio and all that stuff. So for example, what happens usually, and let's say you do meet your realtor first, which a lot of realtors do. You meet your realtor, then you go to the lender. When you talk to the lender, you still don't know what they're saying because it's like two different worlds. So that's my initial assessment. And then what makes me actually want to take someone on is that honestly nowadays it's like, did you make what kind of effort, or did you respect me enough to reach out to me in the right way? Yeah. I've had people who just text me and say, hey, I'll be ready in a few months, and then I don't reach out to them and they get upset.
Yeah.
If you reach out to me, I always leave my videos saying, hey, call me or text me or make an appointment with me. He called me, he texted me, he made the effort. And secondly, when I met him at the office, it's that connection.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I like working with people that I can relate to, that I resemble, and in some ways I do kind of resemble him, and it just hit it off. I want to work with people that I like. I'm even taking clients now like hour drive from me because I rather work with people I like rather than someone who lives 5 minutes from me and is not someone I really like.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
And so through this entire process of helping me, what was something that you ultimately saw in me or like other clients? Like, what is something that you see very common in clients that like as a realtor is like, but then what is other things that like clients do? What are some of the experiences that you've had? So that people don't do, like, I mean, don't be this type of client is what I'm trying to get at.
I would say that first know what kind of, not client you are, but know what your style is. Some people want to be called, emailed every day. Hi, here's a new list of houses for you today. If that's what you want, say that up front.
Okay.
Right? If you are more, which the people I work with are more my age, millennials like you, they're more independent. I'm not there to give them lists every day. I'm more there to kind of be their guide. Like, I'm sending you houses, but he also found some houses on the side. Here's 4 or 5 that I want to see. Can you check if they're available? I'm ready today at 3. Boom, boom, boom. I do all that, right? So if your style is to be more like, hey, I want you to pamper me and not, there's nothing wrong with that. Pamper me. I want you to send me houses every day. I want you to do all that. Then know that up front and tell them up front. If you go meet a realtor and you like them, but they have a different style, and then it turns out you don't like them, it doesn't necessarily mean he was a bad realtor. It was just in the right fit for you. And I'm starting to know that now as this whole YouTube thing is. It's like working with people that are more your style. I'm sure you get it with your coaching clients. It's someone who wants more, that's not just your style. And I personally, like, if I'm shopping for a car, I like to go get the information and be left alone. And then once I'm ready, then I'll come talk to you. And that's how I handle my clients.
Okay. So that pretty much, make sure you guys just tell the realtor who you guys are working with.
What your style is, man. And if you don't know what your style is, just tell them, hey, you know what, I don't know yet. What can we try out first?
Yeah.
I feel like with Serge, I knew up front because he took the initiative to reach out to me and all that. I knew that you were more independent.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's true or not, but if I would have been calling this guy every morning and sending him a new list every day, even if it's the same list of houses, it probably would have gotten annoying. Yeah. You know what I mean? So know your style. And if you don't know, figure it out. And then if I wasn't his right style, if he would have brought it up to me a week later saying, you know what, Javier, can you start sending me houses every day? I just want to be seeing more. Then I adjust your style to the way you are.
Yeah, and I think for me, I always kind of go by this model of like, if you want to do something, like not that you didn't do anything right or that any realtor is not going to do it right, but for me personally, that's just how I grew up, and it's kind of like something that I do as a business person. Is like, if I want something done right, I have to do it myself. Like, it's kind of like an OCD type of thing. Yeah. And I think you realize that after a little while. Like, I was just constantly looking for properties without asking. I was just kind of like,
we set up a search first, and then he starts sending me houses in a different search, and I'd be like, okay, so do I need to adjust my search, or what needs to happen? And then I realized, like, you know what? He's doing his own thing. I just need to be there, and like when he sends me a list, I need to double check. Which you would double check on the MLS already, but
because I knew I didn't want to waste time, guys. Like, for me, time is crucial. Like, I value not only his time but my time. So I wasn't gonna just like send him random properties, which I probably did like every once in a while, but just to kind of see what's out there, right? So I think is that a good thing to do?
100%. So
see what's out there. Like,
so what normally happens is you look at a first list of houses, and then you work all week. You'll go see another few next weekend. You work all week, and then you'll see. And it takes about a month, 2 months to find a house. Serge has flexibility, so we would go look 4 or 5 one day. And I'm thinking, okay, well, we probably want to go next weekend. Next day, I get another 4 or 5. So there we go again. I'm like, okay, cool. So within like a week and a half, we want to go look at like 1 to 2 dozen properties, I would say.
Yeah.
What he did within 1 week, he did what people take 2-3 months. So that should be the same thing for you. Not necessarily do it as quickly, but if you need to take time, great. But once you find the right one, don't be afraid to go for it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and guys, the one thing I loved about working with Javier is like when we showed up to the property, we'd go do our tour of the house, and like this house, I was like, let's do it. Let's get it done. And that was one thing he was very good at, was getting everything done, like, sending in the offer, all that he took care of, and which was amazing because now I wasn't.
That's what you liked?
That, like, out of all the things, like, you were very, very good at that. Like, that was, and not only that, but negotiating. And then at one point, like he said, you have to trust your realtor because they came back with another offer, counter offer.
Well, we had made a pretty aggressive offer up front, like talking $20,000 off list price, and we asked for closing costs.
Yeah,
and they're like, "Should we go for it?" And I mean, I was like, "You know what? If there's no offers, let's try it." They could say no. They came back to us. They're like, "Hey, one of the partners is holding out," or I don't remember what the exact story was, but they came back to us, and then they're like, "Well, should we counter back or should we go a little higher?" I said, "I have a feeling from one of them that there's just one of them that's holding out and everyone else wants to sell. So I feel like if we stay firm, we will get it at what we want." And it turned out it was true.
And they took all of our repair requests and more.
Yeah, so we got a lot of value in this.
We did get a lot of value. And guys, that alone, I couldn't have done without Javier. I do a lot. I'm not going to lie. But that part of the whole, process, I could not have done on my own.
Yeah, so. I mean, realtors nowadays, the more we get into more modern, and I'll acknowledge this too, is we're becoming less and less relevant. To show houses, there's OfferPad, there's Open Door. There's soon going to be, you'll be able to look at houses. But right now, we're still needed for that part.
Yeah.
That and crucial negotiation part and the escrow part, that's the part where there's value. The negotiation, and then, maybe he would have been fine during the inspection and whatnot, but you need to know what documents to receive and all that. That's the part where the value is. So there's always going to be value in buyer's agents because we have that. So the showing phase, on the other hand, over time is becoming less and less relevant, unfortunately.
Yeah, and that is the case, I mean, you just have to adjust to that as a realtor and moving forward and everything. And do you have any final words for the audience? Do you have anything that you would like to say?
Regarding what? Just like buying a house in general?
Buying a house, your channel, everything of that sort.
Well, I make weekly real estate educational channels that help first-time buyers, second-time home buyers. My philosophy is before you make the choice to buy a house, there's like 80% of the work is there where you're having the conversations with your spouse, you're having the conversations in the middle of the night, 11:30, and your boxer's eating Cinnamon Toast Crunch. I'm just kidding. I'm sure he was eating a protein bar.
Yeah, I was definitely eating a protein bar.
So that's where that work's being done. And unfortunately, most of the time, when you're trying to get knowledge there, you have to call a realtor and they try to sell you and they try to do all that. So my thing is bringing you the information and knowledge and value there. So that way, when you do make the decision to buy the house, you're going to be fully prepared. So that's what I'm about. I would love if you guys should check out that channel. And we actually just made a video on our channel too, where we talk specifically more about the avenues you can buy, what he did, like an Airbnb and stuff like that. So other than that, guys, just continue supporting this guy. This is really, he's really gonna crush it. And we're gonna be doing some things soon with the podcast and whatnot.
100%. So one last question for you, because I know this is a question you're just dying to answer.
Oh gosh.
What are your thoughts on millennials buying houses? Because this was a topic we actually had just, behind closed doors and everything. I know this is on the spot. You can see it's on the spot.
So millennials buying a house.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on that? Because you just sold to a millennial.
Yes. I think that people look down on millennials. I think people think we're lazy. People don't think that we're going to amount to much. I think owning a house is probably one of the most empowering things you can do. Maybe it doesn't do much for your monthly payment. Maybe it doesn't do much for your tax savings nowadays. But it's just empowering to have a piece of property and have it at a younger age where it's like, this is mine, and no matter what this world thinks of me or says to me, this is my property and you can't do anything about it. Now down the road, if you want to sell it, you have some power and equity there. If you want to do interesting things like rent it out like he does with Airbnb, that power is yours now. So Renting is great, but you're paying someone else's mortgage. Pay your own mortgage.
Yep. And I see that more often than not. I have buddies who are paying rent on properties that are just overkill for a single person, or for what they have to do. And it literally breaks my heart. And I mean, at the end of the day, I can't tell them how to live their lives and how to spend their money. But guys, take this advice, with a grain of salt if you want to, and be smart with your money. At the end of the day, it is empowering to have a property. I'm feeling that right now. Like it hasn't quite hit me because I've been just so preoccupied with everything. But looking at it, I'm like, wow, I'm not paying,
it's yours,
$1,500 or whatever on rent on something that's not even mine. And then at the end of the day, if I wanted to even fix anything or do anything to the property, I can't.
Yeah, you're just doing
it's not
it
worth
like,
it. Yeah.
It's like if you're leasing a car and you want to fix what you do, no change, and they're like, no, it's not mine. Why would I do that?
Exactly. So you just neglect it at the end of the day. And it's just one of those things that isn't, I don't know, for me personally, it's smart for a millennial. If possible, if they can do it, definitely do it 100%. There's so many benefits to owning a property, like he mentioned. So guys, thank you so much for sticking around. If you guys did, make sure to hit that like button. Also smash that subscribe button. Go check his channel out. It's an amazing channel, honestly. You guys will get a ton of value from it. He's been an awesome realtor. I'm looking forward to all the properties we're going to end up buying. And thank you, man.
Are you going to do that click subscribe thing you have in your videos?
Yeah. It's going to ding.
All right.
Yeah, for sure. So make sure.
Like 5 times.
Yeah. And go watch all these other videos, guys. I'm going to have them. There's a ton of educational videos up here. And hopefully you guys like this different type of content. And thank you, Javier.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you, dude.
All right,
guys. Peace.